Hello everybody, my name is the Dysfunctional Pleb and welcome to the Beginner's Guide. If you don't know what this game is already, it's made by the same person who made the Stanley Parable, and that game was pretty popular, so I have high hopes for this one. I don't know anything about this game, so yeah. I have Izzy with me, she's coming here soon, and as soon as she gets here, we're gonna just start.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the game. Alright, say
I'm
hello.
ready.
I should say hello to everyone and you just go dead silent. You ass. Okay, fine, we'll just start, whatever. Oh my god.
I panicked, just started laughing.
Please make sure your audio is on.
I can hear everything, it's fine.
Wazda and yeah, okay.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
Hello.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda.
Okay.
Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make.
Like
so just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike.
When
You
did
can walk
Stanley
around
come
here,
out?
by the way. And
I have no
mostly
idea.
it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
Yes.
And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
What the
I have zero idea what's happening.
The guy that made the Stanley Parable wanted to honor the guy that initially got him into making games. So now we're playing all of the games that he never released in one game. Which is trippy.
Oh, now you're in a shooter game.
Now I'm in a shooter game. Okay.
This game is called Escape
Every
from
time I
Whisper,
turn,
and it's
something
one of the more
changed.
generic games you'll see from Coda.
The shooting is so goofy.
It's so quiet.
It's so quiet.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Shoot! Shoot for your life.
It kind of looks
I
like
ran
this
out of
game was
ammo.
abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't
Yeah.
even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
You really can't.
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for
wiggle,
what they're
wiggle,
not.
wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shooting activation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
You can what?
I love that.
You can see the nothing. Let me through.
Take a left.
Okay, and then
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know.
sure, why not?
There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Okay, thank you. I love
Okay,
that.
this is
Thank
the part
God.
that's interesting. The
Uh-huh.
game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
What the hell's a whisper machine?
Hey, you there,
Dad?
in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much
Okay.
to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Are you gonna offer yourself? By that I mean,
Nuh-uh.
are you gonna offer yourself?
Are you gonna offer yourself or are you gonna off yourself? Pick one or the other. Yeet.
Let me pause here for a second.
You're
You
dead.
just experienced
I'm dead.
stepping into the beam and then dying
And
is
dying.
probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Yeah.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Okay. So the game crashes.
Pretty much. Jump in again.
You just become
Oh.
one with the sky.
The beam
Well, you can
causes you
see-
to start floating. And this
can
is
see
an
everything.
important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
So he saw a glitch one time and was like, you know what? I'm gonna make all the glitches. All the glitches are mine.
The past was behind her.
I guess it is. It's directly behind us. Wait, I can't move?
Yep, in this game
my
you can
God.
only walk backwards.
Oh, I hate this. I don't like this in the slightest. This makes me nauseous. This is trippy.
That's
So
weird.
it's a short and relatively minimalist
But the future
experiment
could not be
combining
seen.
motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
What the fuck?
Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
I guess there's more to this level. Wait, there's stuff to be read. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer.
Go backwards.
Go back. The future is always behind her. What is this game?
How will she find the strength?
It's a short little thought, it
What
says
the
what it
f-
wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick.
This game is
Okay,
trippy.
next one.
Okay, I guess I just can't see that far. You are now
You are now
entering-
entering
Okay,
just
I guess
entering.
I'm
And
just
that's it.
entering.
Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
we playing?
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish
guess
I'd
we
known him
go
at the
up.
time that he was making these early games.
I
He would really
suppose.
only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Are you going slower?
I'm most definitely
Once
going
you've been
slower.
slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
No, I refuse. I'm gonna go this slowly the entire time.
Oh.
Alright, I lied. Oh. That's cool. Stand on X staring at beer for 3 hours. What? A game of motivational code played one after another while the player cannot move.
I can
And
barely read
A
that.
room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
This is interesting.
Press U to surrender.
You are the
Coda would
queen,
often tell me
dusting
that he
your
didn't
jewelry
mind
while
if
your
people thought of
kingdom
him
is
as cold
destroyed.
or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate
There's
person,
so many things.
but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Oh. This is like a little way of coping with his own reality. I like that.
Oh,
We're in 2009 now. Let's go.
I was 10 years old.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Ready, set, fish. This one seems to not be about fish, even though it was supposedly about fish.
Well, this is new for
It'll be
Coda.
somewhere.
It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh, there it is.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna
Are
see it
we?
a lot.
Well, how do you know?
I just know. Don't question my abilities.
Okay. Now where do we go?
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. Oh my god.
Oh, the stairs.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I
That's
actually find it
crazy.
funny that this game comes after the Stairs game since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
Huh.
Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player.
Right.
So if your role here is not to understand, then what is
There's
it?
so much.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
Oh,
Do I get to click enter again? Do I get to... You are now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game.
Huh.
There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of
There
them.
is so much walking
And
in
once
this
we
one.
have, we can step back and start to
Yeah.
understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
So Kodo is just like really good at making a long strand of games that are meant to be played together.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just threw them all away. He's like, nah, I don't feel like it.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
So
The
To
door
make
open.
all of these games,
Which door?
Coda is
Oh.
using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain
what the
things that it
fuck?
does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it
what
does very
the
well
hell?
is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
I guess I go down one at a time?
The
Or I
tools
could go
available
down
to the
multiple at a
creator shape
time?
what kinds of creative work they're going
Let's
to
go
end
down
up
multiple.
making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem
I
from an
almost fell
engine
off
that's
that one.
very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
So there's a lot to this one. I wonder how much time he spent on just designing, like putting things together. Because it must have taken forever to design some of these.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You can't grab what's in the middle?
you can't even go to the what's in the middle.
Oh, I didn't see the force field.
Yeah, there's a giant force field that's just like, nah, dog, you don't get to do that.
I didn't see it at first.
I don't like this. This is fencing me in. There's a lot
Literally.
of fence. Oh, this gets intense. Why am I... What? Okay. Open up. Open sesame. Or don't... Okay. Okay, hi. That's weird. That was a very weird feeling.
This prison, funny enough,
fuck.
in
Nice.
Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Oh, this stays closed for an hour.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so
Yeah.
we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
How did he design that many games that quickly? What the hell?
You have the time?
This guy really had the time, I guess. Holy
It's the
shit.
puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Is it actually? Yeah, it is. Huh.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
What if he just really liked that puzzle?
Mm-hmm.
What if he was just like, bro, this puzzle's kind of fire. Let me just put it everywhere.
Oh! People!
I'm getting judged. Oh, hell no.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Did you
I can
come
barely
from up
even read that.
above? You there, did you come from up above? What was up there? And it's just interpretations of yes, basically. It's like there's world stamped with whiteness, there's an enormous prison I spent hours in, and then there are these floating colored blocks. Which one do you want to go with?
Jail one.
There was an enormous prison I spent hours in. That's the world above. You've been there. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. I'd prefer not to tell you. After all, we've only just met. I find that one
Number
funny.
Whatever one you want to go with.
What?
Whatever one you want to go with.
Corre.
Do it.
But you don't understand. We're trapped here. That puzzle is our only escape. We need to get through it. You think you want to get through it, but trust me, you don't. Let me describe it for you. Let me tell you all about what is over there. Alright, I will tell you how to solve it.
Number 2.
Let me describe it for you. No, that isn't possibly enough. I need to actually be there. I cannot simply be told what it is. I must see it myself. I must escape this prison. There must be an ending. And then there is no more text dialogue. There's no more options. The door opens and we leave. And then the door closes. And then we're in the same room again. With the same dialogue. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No, I've been right here this entire time.
2.
2 is funnier. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? Why would I sit in the black space? Who are you? Yeah, who are these people?
You choose. Yeah.
Just go hang out there in that blackness for a bit. You might not like it at first, but it'll grow on you eventually. I don't think it will. And then there's stairs. This game is tripping me out, dude.
And so we make one last
So
descent
weird.
down to the final floor of the level.
The final floor. Are you sure it's the final floor? Are you sure you're not gonna just tell me to click enter and then there's gonna be like a fucking 1,000 more floors? Okay. This is awfully weird.
It's a lamppost.
It is a lamppost,
Okay,
buddy.
I can't tell you
Good
quite
job.
why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I
So
think.
that whole thing was one game?
I think that up to this point,
That whole thing was one game.
he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
Okay.
He wants a destination.
Okay.
Which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
It's
We're
a
going to see it
goal.
in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
So are we going to the next game?
I suppose so.
It's just slowly one game after another. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. What? Nice room? Not. Wait, can I leave a message?
I don't
So
know.
first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but
How
this
did you
game is
beat
not
this
connected
game?
to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly
No
after I met
point to
him
this.
at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just
Holy
so
shit.
different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was
Whoa.
like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect,
Okay.
I think I was probably
It literally
a bit
just
too
said
pushy,
exactly
trying to
what
get
I
his
was
attention.
thinking. That's
Uh,
crazy.
I was over enthusiastic. But he was very
you
gracious
guys
about it
hear me?
and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
Hello? There's so many notes.
Oh, feel free to skip
Reasonable?
over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to
Everyone
happen
read
if you
this.
read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs
guy over there
and has
wrote
no way to
much
express
wrong.
them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that
I'd rather
wasn't
be
meant to be
doing
played.
literally anything other than playing this. There's so many of these. Hey, I can type
But it's
you.
ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game
There are too many
and seeing how
messages in this
alone
area.
Coda often felt,
Why?
that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect
In a
with him.
world full of notes, one
And I have
man
to be
would
honest
read
with
all
you,
of them.
this idea
This
is
summer,
really
you will
seductive to
believe
me.
blue
That I could
speech
just
bubbles can talk.
Play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know
All right,
them better
I'm
and
gonna
have
skip
to do
through
less
some of
of
these
the
actually.
messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work.
There's so
I think
much
this is why
work,
I always
though.
liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world,
Just looking for someone to talk
and then
with.
I feel less lonely too.
I refuse to believe. Butt ass butts. I need to go to the frickin' bathroom. That's you. Recognize me,
I
please.
can't help it.
There's nothing here. Go back. Do not listen to that guy. What is
Listen to
over
him.
here? I don't want to go back. I want to go forward and look at all this weird architecture. I want to know how he
Okay.
thought of how all these weird designs. You know what I mean? Like
Let
that
him.
painting is so cool. It's like if you took a spray paint can and just kept like spritzing it around.
I like the colors.
It's pretty. What's this one say? Don't listen to the other notes. What does this one say that he says that? This is a note. Oh, the ones we read turn white.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Did you not notice that this entire time?
No, I thought they only turned white when you were reading them, like while you were reading them.
Mm-mm.
So you get to see like what path you traveled too, which is cool. Or if you manage to avoid all of them. Let's take a moment to just appreciate the art. Anyway.
Art.
Art. Feels like
Art.
a museum.
Mhm,
Well,
mhm.
I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. It's a terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. Is this the end of the game? Or is there more to it? Okay, we get...
At the end of
can't-
this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games
Almost
represents
there.
an idea that was on Coda's
I've seen
mind at the
everything.
time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult,
Close
Coda
your
can
eyes
then
and wish it
place
was
this
really
puzzle
bad.
that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my god, I've literally been here for an hour. What the fuck do I do? Help. Help. This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Shit, how do I solve it? Developer answers, please? The whispering is like really jarring as well in
And
the
because
background.
there's this dark area between
Right.
the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause,
Okay.
just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here, to step back and connect the pieces together, to grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Oh, this is gonna be cool. There's typewriters there. Okay. Menacing little noise. How do you leave notes? That's what I've been wondering this whole time.
This is how.
Are you there? Please say something. Anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty speaking? Holy shit. Porn stars die.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
This one's tough.
What's going on?
I don't know. There's a well. Okay, we can go through the well thing. The door thing. Oh, this is pretty. This is nice. And there's a picture. Of just randomness. More of this. Okay. If I see the picture again, I'm gonna be annoyed. Nope, it's just a random...
See, like, this is
circle.
It, the whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting
Oh, we're
about
in the
it.
well
you
now.
Just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Okay. That's the well I was just trapped in. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? How about a TV with surround sound? A refrigerator, a giant hole. Can we actually just put a giant hole in the ground here? That's not a giant hole. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? 10 stoves lined up along the wall. Let's do that. Okay, that's not 10 stoves, but okay. I think we should light up this room. Let's put a skylight. Really open up the room. You know, a lamp works too, I guess. You need a table. Tables were invented in 1935. Yeah, okay. Okay, that is freaky.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
It's like a little maze, though. You get to go through it.
So, okay,
and then it
he
stops
throws it out
being
and
there.
starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Okay. Hello, please walk forward. What if I walk backwards? There's not much backwards to walk, actually, not gonna lie. Forwards it is. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care you remember each step. First, click on this table. Okay. Go to the photo frame and turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Okay, now go to the left side sofa, move it over a bit. Finally touch the shelves. That's it. This is in a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Well, why would I want to be taken to the prison? Okay. I guess I'll go back to jail now, my bad. I did not mean to murder all those folks. I just heard that there were 5 points each.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
There is no escape.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
Okay, that's
Let me just blink you real
freaky.
quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism
Oh, this
of
one's
defense
cool as fuck.
against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something.
Okay.
And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
There is no prison, so why would you call this one a prison one? It's almost like he felt like his home was a prison, so he just wanted to share that with the world.
This is how he expressed it.
We finally made it to the lamp again. Can we go back around the side? No, we can't.
Also, when you get a second, check your Discord.
Got you. This is a really freaky game so far.
I like it though.
Yeah, it's cool. Hello, who is this? It's me. I'm you from after you escaped the
It's
prison.
a conversation.
You're me.
And so this
So I was
is what
trapped in this
Coda
prison
wants,
too?
is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind,
I
and
was
to
in
get
the
some good
escape
advice from
tutorial.
someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this
That's where I
scenario,
am
you're
right
still
now.
talking to yourself.
I'm so glad
You know,
to know that I
all
get
of
out
these games so
eventually. What
far
it's like
are
to
Coda
escape.
talking to himself.
It is like talking to yourself. I already forgot what it was like being in the prison. How long has it been since you got out? Years. I've been standing right here working up the nerve to call you. I haven't been here for years, I don't think. It's really hard to admit, but I was afraid to make the call. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped. It's like dialing buttons with the way that it's like
Right?
they asked me how I felt about being in prison. Nani? They freed you? How does that work? Just tell me how you feel. I feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Go on.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice. Now, you know what else would be a
So
fitting
what would it
ending
look
for
like
now?
if Coda wanted to...
I feel like it'd be a fitting ending if we stopped here for now and then started again later. I feel like we've gone for a good amount of this game and then we can check more of it later.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
It'll let us digest. It'll be cool. Of course, if you watched this till now and you want to see more of it, please comment down below that you like the game. And of course, if you want to see more of me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Oh, bye-bye!